Good morning. I am Katie Scott with and I do scrapbooking, and I sometimes turn on my Ustream camcorder. Sometimes I talk and sometimes I don't. I just want to show you my process, and sometimes if I turn on the video, it helps me get going. It means I need to do something. So I've made this little tab, current layouts, and I have this binder that I got at a big box store and for $8, and it's made by Craft, and I don't know if they still make them or not. 2006, probably not. It's a handbag styled album, 3D ring. And one reason that I like it is it has 3 rings. One reason I don't like it is it has this little thing that like looks like a clasp, and if you put that on a wooden table, this little thing will scratch your table. So that's not awesome. But I still have them. I've thought about just cutting those off, but I haven't done that. Anyways, so I have a bunch of blank page protectors and some actually started pages in here. And so I think what I'm going to do is pull out some of the started stuff. I think what I was doing with this one a couple of years ago was I was doing like the September everyday thing. So I just want to pull these out just so I don't have to pull those out later. Yeah, I was doing the 30 days half September. And here's my little binder clip for that thing. But I did finish that project, but I didn't use up all these little things. I also did a May Everyday album recently. Well, not recently. I did it in 2007 and then got like most of the way through May. I think I actually got all the way through May 2007, but I didn't use the entire album. It was like a 3-up album, and so a couple weeks ago I pulled that album out. Maybe not a couple weeks ago, but recently I pulled it out, and then I added in my 2011 stuff. And if you hold on for a boring moment of dead air space, I'll go get it and show it to you. It's pretty cool. Okay, so ta-da! So this is May 2007, or it was May Everyday 2007, and that was inspired by a project that Stacy Julian does, and I think she wrote about it in Simple Scrapbooks. Anyways, so this was May 2007, and then I just added this yellow bits in here now, so now it's 2007 and 11, like 7-Eleven. That was pretty funny. I wrote on the just wrote with a Sharpie on the side of that. So this, let me see where I stand here and you can see it, is May Everyday 2007. There, that's a better place. And so then I would just like write every day, like here's what we did, or you know, this is our life. And it looks like I did a lot of that journaling on the computer and then just stuck it in, which is a good idea. But then I don't think I did that for very long because here's a bunch of handwriting. So it's sort of like a 365 project, except I just did it for 1 month. I haven't been able to completely bond with that 365 concept yet. I'm trying. I think it's an awesome concept. It's just the execution part of it is difficult, I think. And it was so funny. I bought my crocodile in May 2007, and I you know what? I don't think a scrapbooking day has gone by when I have not used that thing. This is one of the the best purchases I ever made. I think I even got it for 40% off, which is funny. I should probably get another one just for the on-the-go part of it. But so this is what my kids look like, you know, in 2007. All tiny and adorable. They were, oh, I should know this. How old is Allison? 2007. Well, she was born in 2003, so that would make her like 4. And then he was 6, maybe? No, he was like 5. Maybe she was 3 or 4. See, that's why you should write down your kids' ages so you don't forget. Yeah, I think he was like about 5 and she was like 3. And so now they are 7 and 9. So in May they're always going to be 2 years. Anyways, it's the math. But oh look, there's Mother's Day, 2007. Look at how tiny they were. They're so cute. Okay, so they're, you know, you get the idea of here's blah blah blah, all the stuff going on. My cousin graduated from law school. Da 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 da. And then like we went on a cruise. And so that's the, just flip through there. Okay, so then put this little tabby thing in. Now, and I need to like embellish this up with like some journaling. I haven't done that yet. Now I have my 2011 pictures. Isn't that exciting? And so then it's like fast forward till today and hold on. Now we look like, you know, now our family looks like this. And I'm not holding it in the right place. And so it's just like, it's cool to look at because the kids are always asking me about like, tell me a story about when I was little. And this kind of shows them like, oh, look at how much you've grown in just 4 years. So I even have some extra space at the end of this, and I'm not going to fill it up. I'm going to wait a few more years, if you can imagine, and then I'll fill it up again. So then it'll be like 2007, 2011, and maybe like 2015 or something like that. So this still needs a little bit of work, but we've been having fun looking at that lately. So what am I working on now? So this is just some supplies that I like. Sometimes I'll have different methods of organizing, and I think what I was doing is getting pages ready for that September thing. And then these were some supplies that I thought I was going to use, but I never used them. So perfectly good sticker sheet. It's from 2006, but it's still cute. Look, scenic route. And it, you know, scrapbook supplies are supposed to last forever, right? So they're still good. And then I'm just going to pull out these white pages too. I want to start this album, just a fresh album, so I'm just showing you how I kind of prepare my process here. And then what I do with my layouts that I've just created is I'll put them into this binder, or a binder that's similar to it. Sometimes I switch around with them. And then when I fill it up, then those pages will go into my Library of Memories albums. So like maybe at the end of the month, or when this book starts looking kind of full and I have a little, like an hour or so, I'll sort through my layouts and put them in the appropriate albums. And it's been a long time actually since I've done that. So I actually have probably like 5 or 6 of these current type albums that are full of layouts that are all mixed up, that have just been, I put them in as I make them, and then they need to go into the people, places, things, celebrations. What else do we have? School of Life, stuff like that. So then they'll go into like the themed up albums. And I even have some post-bound albums that sometimes I'll take a particular category of what I have in those Library of Memories albums. And like we live in Florida, and so we go to Disney World a lot. And so I'll pull out, like, if I've made 10 random pages of Disney World and they're all in the like Places We Go album, I don't want the Places We Go album to have like a bazillion pages of, or 10 of Disney World. So I will pull those out, or maybe pull out like all but one or two of them, put the majority of them into a post-bound album, and then so I should say this is the type of Ustream show that you should just listen to, because it's not that interesting to look at. But I find that when I'm scrapbooking, I love to listen to someone talking about scrapbooking, and so that therefore I love listening to podcasts. And I used to make some podcasts, but I never really bonded with any of the podcast providers, like where you could make the podcasts. And so I think most of my podcasts are, you know, that you get that email that says, if you don't do something with this, we're going to delete it. And so I think most of them have gone into the lost world of the internet. I think they're gone. But Ustream is easy to just turn on the video camera and start going. And occasionally, like, you know, I don't usually post when I'm going to do these shows. I just do them as I have the time and inclination. Occasionally I have somebody pop in and start talking to me, but I don't have the chat even put on. So anyways, this is the kind of Ustream show where I don't show you a bunch of techniques, and you shouldn't be watching intently. You should be doing your own thing. Like, you could be cleaning your house or driving in your car, or you can't be driving in your car and watching the internet, but you could be doing something else and listening, and then maybe just looking every so often. So it's kind of, if you have a computer in your scrapbooking room like I do, this is the kind of show that I wish there were more of, because then I could just listen and then look up occasionally. Like, I listened to that paper clipping roundtable, which I totally love. Brilliant, brilliant concept and execution. But it would be cool, I think, if they filmed it. Like, I know they do this whole Skype thing, and I think it would be cool if they filmed it, and then, like, it wouldn't have to be like super interesting video, but like if they were describing something, they could show and tell, you know, they could show you what they were talking about. I think that would be a groovy addition to the show if they were so inclined, which I think they're probably not, which is totally fine. I can't remember my original point. I was just chattering away. Yeah, so this is all the stuff I intended to use in that September Everyday album that I didn't use. And so when I have big paper scraps like this, I actually have a place that I put those. So I'm just putting those in there. And I don't sort my scraps by color. I sort of do. This is like paper strips, sort of arranged by color a little bit. Sometimes I'll just feel like scrapbooking and not really have anything in particular I feel like doing. So I'll just get some pages started. It's like kind of like that smash book concept of something's down. It's not just a blank sheet. And then if I'm working, I'll be like, oh, I could totally use this like this, and put the title over here and put my pictures there, blah, blah, blah. And then just like add upon that. So these are what I call my half-baked pages. So I had made a bunch of those for that September Everyday thing, which I think I did like, I think it was 2008 maybe. And I don't think this stuff looks like totally, like I would still use this. I don't think it's like out of style. At least for my purposes. I I still think it's cute, so I would still use it. I don't care that it's old. I'm not, I don't really care about having the latest, like using the latest and greatest. Although I do like to get the latest and greatest every once in a while. So like sometimes I'll feel like my stash is getting a little stale, and what I'll do is, like I did 2 weeks ago, I went down to Whims to Doodle, which is my local scrapbook store, and like here's all my, so I keep this like all together. Like I just updated all, you know, I just got like, I bought I think 20 pieces of pattern paper, like Studio Calico and Bow Bunny and crepe paper, and I just went down and I just like bought whatever I thought was pretty, or whatever that, not all of, some old stuff get in there too, but just like just new things, new to me anyways. So occasionally I like that infusion of having some new things, and then I feel like, you know, then I'm excited again about my stuff. But I try to use my new stuff with my old stuff so that I don't have to buy all, I don't have to use all new things. But it's nice to have a little stash of like new to me items. And my scrapbooking store also has like I think they do it twice a year, a yard, like a scrapbooking yard sale. And when I go there and get new to me things, even though the products may be several years old, it still feels like, oh, I have new stuff, and then I'm excited again. So I don't need it. I've learned over time I don't need as much new stuff as I think I do. So I've curbed my buying. In the olden days, I used to buy a lot of stuff and not use it, and now I try to buy a little stuff and use a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to use up what I have. But if you're never infusing your stuff, if you're never putting new things into your process, then I think it starts to get stale. So I've tried to go on like, oh no, I won't buy anything anymore except adhesive, something I will always famously say. And then after a while of doing that, I'm like, oh, but now I'm not inspired anymore. Like now I'm bored. So I do find I need a little bit of new stuff to keep myself interested. So now I have a Viva variety of page protectors. So I've got, I don't know if you can, it's like 2 times 3. These are by Crop and Style, and I think I purchased these over the intranet, maybe through Amazon, I think. And so I've got like a lot of different configurations. I don't know if you can see that either, of types of page protectors. And so it just gives you different options of, and then just regular old page protectors. Sometimes I do different sizes, so the 8.5 by 11s. And then these ones in the back, I buy some of, Walgreens has 3-ring 12 by 12 albums with these kinds of page protectors in them. They fit 6, and they're like $10 or $14. They're cheap. So if you find that you love the American Crafts 3-ring binders, which I do too, but you don't want to pay 20 bucks, you can go to Walgreens and the page protectors are included. They're not the 12 by 12 page protectors, but they'll give you that, you know, option of having different options. So, okay, so now where does this stuff go? So I've just disassembled that. I'm gonna put the stuff away. I have no makeup here, so I was talking to a doctor friend of mine yesterday, and he's like, I could totally diagnose all the problems that you have because you're puffy around your eyes and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Your hair is not shiny. I'm like, okay, except that I put on no makeup today. And so, no makeup today. And I am 41, so I don't know. I expect to have a few wrinkles. I think that's probably okay. Okay, so where am I putting this? Up in my... I have cardstock over there. And then even my half-done pages. Dun, 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 dun. I put in, I have a little thing over here called started pages. So, and actually that's like overflowing. I need to work on those some night so I can get those, that stack a little bit less huge. So I'm just gonna put kind of underneath another section with a divider so I'll know where I stopped. There we go. And I bought the system that I have. I don't think you can see it. See up there? Those at a scrapbooking store that I think was going out of business. I think it was the one in Tampa. Or maybe it was the one in Pasadena. I'm not sad. I went to both of their going out of business sales. It was I think Tampa's was called the Scrapbook Shop. And then the one near my house was called Scrapbooking in Paradise. I missed that one. I never really went to the scrapbooking stores very often, but it was nice to know they were there. And there were some ladies who were there all the time. Especially at, like, I never really went to the one in Tampa, but the one in Pasadena, you know, little old lady from Pasadena. Well, the median age where I live in St. Petersburg, but I live in a part of St. Petersburg called Pasadena, which I think is actually its own little city. Anyways, the median age here is like 74. So we did have like little old ladies who were at the scrapbooking store every single day, and I think they miss it. Although the place reopened in Seminole, so it's still there, and they call it something else though. Scraps of art, maybe? Scraps of heart? Something like that. I've driven by, but I haven't been in. I need to check it out, but I don't get out much. I have some friends who are like, we should go, you know, do a crop, or you should come to this or that, and I just, when I scrapbook is either in the morning before my day gets started, like now, or in the evening. Okay, so I have this little album that's really cute by K & Company. I know this line's been out forever, but Studio K is what it's called. Studio K Meadow and Breeze. So I have this, and I have even a pad of paper that coordinates with it, and I think I'm going to use this for my week in the life. But my only beef with it is I don't think there's enough pages. So there's like, sorry, there's 5 pages on each side. It's like this gate album thing, and so that means 20, which I know, like, theoretically there's only 14 days, or not 14, it's a week, not 2 weeks. There's only 7 days, but I have found, I should look at my last year's week in the life. I think it's in the other room. I'm not going to go out there, but I think I'll need more pages than that. So one of the things I was going to do is see if I could finagle some of those other page protectors. I think what I might do is just keep this stuff, right? My little thing, and I'm going to make a memorabilia, like a supplies what do you want to call it? Thing. Folder. I don't know what you call that thing. This. That's what I'm going to make. So I don't remember what Stacy Julian calls it, but she calls it something. Supplies. I had my little book out last night too, and I don't even remember. And I was looking at it, but now I'll have that ready, and then I'm just going to take like a little binder clip, and I'll probably add to this. But this way I can see through it. I know it's in there, and then I'll probably also I can even put the album in here. I'm going to set that to the side for a minute. What I was thinking is I want to have more pages, because I just think I'll want to fill this up fatter than it is. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs at the top. So that's cool, because then I can do like, you know, each day I'll have to add one more tab for 7 days, but I'll want to put probably more than, I always want to include more. I have a hard time limiting. So I wanted to see if any of my other page protectors could be cut down. So that was one of my purposes in getting this thing out. And yeah, I could cut this page protector, and I think I could like put it in this way and cut it here. I'm not sure I want to do that, because these I think are slightly pricey. But the other thought I had, because these are like the 12 by 12 divided. You see that? It's like it's all divided up already. And I get them online, but I always feel like, oh, that is a little pricier than I would like. But I'll get it because I need it, and I will use it. But then you can buy these kinds of page protectors, just the 8.5 by 11 at Office Depot, and they are cheap. So I don't care, you know, I would rather cut these kind of things up. And these I think will fit. And I'll need to use the crocodile, of course. But I think I can get more. All I need to do is cut it off. Cut this bit off at the top. And then I can. So I think that's probably what I will do. This is why I hate post-bound albums, because you actually need to get the screwdriver out. And I also, in addition to my crocodile, I keep these pliers in my office because, don't tell my husband, I took him out of his, because when I do the little post-bound things, I will like hold one side with these and then use the screwdriver on the other side. But here's the thing, I'm not totally sure that I'm going to be adding, so I think I'll just keep one of these in my supplies bindery, whatever that envelope thing is called, and that way that'll remind me if I wanted to do more, I can. So maybe I'll just even put it in there. Ta-da. So I think the week in the life is going to be in July. And I don't like to get too prepared for that, because then I don't know. It's just get a little bit prepared. So now I feel like I've prepared. And what I'm going to do is I will actually put this in here with this. So I'm ready. Have my color scheme. And then the rest of, you know, the stuff can just be, I can use my scraps and embellishments and that sort of thing. So there's my little notebook for that. And then I'll just take a little binder clip, voila, and I need a tab, a little tabby thing. They're up here. Oh, I gotta go. My time in the scrapbooking room is almost up. What is Mr. Rogers saying? I've been reading one of his books. Or not, he didn't write it. Someone else wrote it about him. And it's called I'm Proud of You. That man is the sweetest man that ever lived. For real. Someone recently, I was saying that to someone recently, and they were like, "Oh no, isn't he creepy?" And I was like, "No, that's like no." He was not creepy at all. The man was like the genuine article. It's like completely sweet. Oh, look at this. Ready? These are like after the royal wedding. I decided to call this stuff the Fascinators. Check it out. I'm in love with this. I got this, like, we got this present of wine one year for Christmas, like one of those corporate gifting things, and like there was I think a bottle of wine in each one of these, and I was like, ooh, dividers, I love that. And so it's my little Fascinators. Remember those hats? So I need, this is what I'm looking for. So then I'll just write a week in the life on this, and then I'll attach it here to this thing. Dun, dun, and then I'll be ready. A week in the life. A Week in the Life is a scrapbooking project that was created by Allie Edwards, who is a scrapbooker in the life. And she does it every year, and like a lot of scrapbookers do it along with her. And so it's fun to do a project. Well, when like, you know, everyone else out there in internet land is doing it too. I don't know why that's fun. It just is. It's just like, you know, you're part of a community of people that have the same hobby as you. So there we go. Week in life. I'm ready. Lady Freddy. Okay, so there's my little projects binder, and I'm gonna put it probably, I don't really have a space for these. That's one issue that I have in the scrapbooking room right now, is I need a space. Ideally, it's gonna be, I'll show you. I've been in the process of rearranging, and over here, there's still, I need to go through those things, and those shelves there could be my materials files. I think that's what she calls them, for projects. But there's still like stuff that needs to be organized there. There's a lot of like bags that can go to crops and that sort of thing, and some few other random things. So this is a part of my scrapbooking world that needs to be still organized. But I will, this maybe will remind me to do that. So there, a week in the life, and I can see the little, I know you probably can't, but you can see the little label on the side, which is great. So I'm ready for that. Okay, scrapbookers. Have fun scrapbooking. Bye-bye.